Hey guys, this is Forte, super late, August 17th, 11 p.m. This is going to be a short video. I just want to talk about breakouts and how you're most likely going to lose money trading breakouts. That's not because breakout doesn't work, it's because you're not trading it right. Or, in other words, you're trading it too right. You probably have read a textbook on how to trade like, when a stock break out of a long base, when a stock basically breaks a cup and handle, and some most of the time it doesn't work, right? The reason is because that the things that you read are from textbooks, and textbook patterns, fortunately and unfortunately, does not work that often. That's because you're doing what the majority of the people are doing in 2021 with the invention of like basically it's not invented this year, it's been here for a while, but there's high frequency trading with everybody's got their own broker with charts and everything, right? Real time, everybody in to some certain degree can read charts, right? Cup with handle breaking out of the base, these are the most typical pattern that you can get. And guess what, they do work sometimes, but in the long run you shouldn't trade them. You should trade them with a little bit of a like a nuance. You want to, for example, KMX had a perfect cup and handle, right? We can see the cup right here, right? The stock, basically went through this consolidation with about 20% pullback, and then it rise up, and then we form this handle right here, and then you could, a good purchase right here would be as it breaks out of this handle right here, and we can see that the stock went up. I actually purchased it right here, right? And guess what? I lost money on it. I didn't have a big size on it because I knew these patterns most of the time they fail. The reason they fail, like I said earlier, is because most of the people they know them. So the best, how do you trade patterns? How do you trade stock? If everybody knows what's going on, you have to become the minority. You cannot trade like a majority, right? You want to make sure, here's the thing. The first time when a stock breaks out, never trade it. If you want to be a perfect, I it's hard. Even I have trouble. For example, KMX, I traded it, right? But if you want to be a perfect trader, never trade the first breakout. The second and the third is your magic, right? First time usually it breaks out and it fails. That's usually how it goes. We recent example, I can just think of a couple. Tesla, right? Broke out of this little base right here. We peaked out, peekaboo, and failed. I didn't trade it. I learned. I realized that it's number one, market isn't that good either. You want to see, let the price go. If the stock goes like this the next day, well, too bad, you missed it. Just move on. You know what I mean? But the thing is, most of the time it doesn't work that nicely. Let's look at the 30-minute chart, right? That little base in the beginning right here, right? This base on the 60-minute chart is basically this right here. The stock broke out of it right here, and then we failed completely, down like 40 points, right? Actually, more than that, like 60 points, 55 points. Now, now you ask the question, how do you trade them then? Wait for the first and the second entry. Let the stock break out, and wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback. Just wait for it. As it goes a second time, right? Let the stock go up, pull back a little bit, go again, enter again, shakes you out again, let it consolidate again. When it goes back again, buy it one more freaking time. That's how you want to do it. But the first one, you ignore it. If the second one fails, then do the third time. If the third one fails, try the fourth time. But the first buy, avoid it. 20 years later, everybody's going to be avoiding the second breakout if you want to be a profitable trader. It's not easy. You might think becoming like what I'm teaching you guys right here on my YouTube is not a textbook thing that I'm teaching you guys. That's what a lot of other YouTubers do. You can go watch them. Go ahead. I'm simply teaching you guys my own experience from trading because these are all the mistakes that I have made. Another example, Apple Beautiful pattern, right? Beautiful move from to the upside with base getting tighter and tighter, right? And then we don't really have an entry right here. So this first candle is obviously it's a miss, right? Most people want to buy it above when it breaks $150 right here. And guess what? We broke that basically yesterday and also today. The stock went up. Now it pulled back, right? If we look at a 15-minute chart, the stock, first of all, from here, the stock broke up and the stock had a big pullback to the 5-day moving average, recovered really fast, and we broke out of this range again. It's not that it's this would I wouldn't buy this one because I still consider this is a first buy because it's our first purchase outside of this breakout. Because the initial breakout right here, I wouldn't even consider that a breakout, but some people bought it because this will be what I call the early entry area, right? But it's Apple. I don't like. If I were to get involved, I expect this thing to move way more than a couple cents, right? So I wouldn't consider that. I want this thing to at least have a good, fat, good breakout. Like above right here, honestly, wouldn't be a bad buy. But on today, but the thing is, that will be the first breakout, and I will avoid that, right? And the stock basically got up. We broke out of right there, came back down. It actually got above the daily view up right here. And you can basically actually could have bought that again, but the thing is the stock fell again, which is, let me tell you, it's not a bad thing. It's not. The stock broke out, came back, failed. Now we just need to see this thing consolidate a little bit. You don't want to buy it. You don't want to buy it tomorrow above this high. You want to make sure you buy it at the point of least resistance. Let it move up again. Let it pull back one more time. Buy it right here as we break out of Tuesday's high, basically. And it might take a couple days for it to do that, but give it some time. That's how you actually hit a winning trade without losing too much money. Other example, let me see. I think ADSK was a good one that we actually made in our video. We can see that now. There's a lot of hindsight in this thing because I already made this move. But if you try your best to ignore this, right? Ignore all that and just focus right here. Look at how many times it tried to break out of that, right? If we were to draw a base right here, whoops. If we were to draw a horizontal line right here, and that would be the base, right? First time breaking out right here. This will be the first breakout. It failed. Pull back, gets going, got up again. That's the second time. It failed again, failed completely this time. And now the third breakout, guess what? People are probably sick of it. They don't want to buy anymore. But the third breakout actually worked. And that's where I will buy it. Because this right here actually will be I prefer to see the stock move inside the previous day. But you can see that it kind of straight up got going. That's what I call a faulty breakout. But this one, it looks like an extended move, right? I don't know if I can show you guys. What day was that? Sorry. I think that was the 19th. So July 19th, it was this day. It was this day. Give me a sec. Where is it? 19. That was the 19th. That was the 20. I bought it on the 21st. So let me see if I can get it for you guys. 21st will be this day is where I bought it. Okay, you can see that the stock got going this day, and I bought it on this day right here, on the second day. And the reason I got that is because the stock had a pullback, so I can tell that because if the stock actually if this candle were to never exist, when I never see the stock pulling back, and the stock just gets going like that, I wouldn't buy it. I want to see just even one candle on the 65-minute. Each candle is 65 minutes, by the way. A pullback like that makes me want to buy it. Basically, I'm like, okay, stock has a quick rest and it's getting going again. Then I want to buy it, and that would be a good breakout. And it's also on the daily chart, the longer time frame. It's actually the third breakout from this base, and it worked really, really well. Other examples. Let me see. I'm trying to find some as we go, to be honest. Because I'm trying my best to find the most recent. Oh, here's one. So since of February, the stock has been in this long consolidation, right? Now we start focusing down and we start realizing that so basically this is the main point of the breakout. This will be a really good break if we can break above this consolidation, right? And how many times has the stock tried to break out of it? We got once and then twice. It failed. First one, you never buy it. Second one, you want to see how it basically goes through. I wouldn't buy the second one as well because of how extended it is, right? Because if you're to buy the stock right here at this X mark, this is way above the previous day's high. If you can understand what I mean. So, for example, I actually wanted to buy this thing above just at the high of this right here because we're getting close to this breakout right here compared to this candle right here, which is relatively lower. It's about 3 to 4 points lower than this candle, and that's actually huge. You guys might think it's like some small nuance stuff, but no, it's gigantic, right? The closer we're to the breakout, the better it is. Also, the stock formed an inside day, and guess what? The stock, it never triggered us. This thing never triggered, and we had a failed move today. So it's out of my list. If this thing can start recovering, so take a look at a 65-minute chart. If this thing can start recovering, you know, prove me that this is a shakeout, it's actually even better. And just see this thing form a lower high as it gets going. Right above here, I think it will carry enough momentum to break the high from here. So that's the high we want to get above. And then if it can start breaking up constructively. Now, even if you look at the last two times that I tried to break out of the big consolidation, right? This big consolidation. Look at it on the 65-minute. Second time it gapped. It's terrible. The first time, the first basically, what is it? If you were to buy right here, you shouldn't have lost money because how fat of a move that it made. Should have taken a couple shares off. And yeah, basically, but it's a first entry. You avoid so you avoid the first one. The second one, you can actually buy it, but in this case, it gapped, so it wouldn't be a purchase. So a third time would be a charm. So AVGO is a stock. I call it avocado. It's a stock that I will recommend people to keep it under the list. Here is another one. Another good one, right? Stock broke out from basically this range. First break. You don't want to buy it. Just don't want, I think that was the earnings too, so it wouldn't even matter. So just bad example. Let's see. I'm just trying to find examples as we go. TPX. Here's one that I big mistake in my opinion. Right, I traded it. First break failed. Second break, I bought it again after I got, I bought it again actually, and it failed. Second time it failed. Now what does that mean? Am I just I'm never gonna trade this stock? No. If this thing can start recovering like that, come back to where it used to be, and it gets going again, I definitely buy it one more time. It will be the third entry, but I'll still buy it. I need to see every single stock. Every single time when I buy a stock is like a new opportunity. I'm not looking to basically revenge trade or anything, right? What else? Especially when you're buying if you are planning on buying the first breakout, you need to make sure you manage your risk really well. Be aggressive selling to the strength. Be aggressive raising your stops, right? There's one penny stock that I've been looking at. If we can see this right here, this stock basically you can see this as a little breakout from here, right? People chased it, people bought it, and it moved pretty nice. Now it failed, came back down to the 50-day moving average, test this area, and now I think it's acting as support. So This one might be a good buy tomorrow from an inside day today. And yeah, now would this be this what it like same thing? This actually will be the first breakout from here. So you do want to be really really aggressive. The moment the stock gets going, sell some, and then raise your stop aggressively in case it fails, right? But most of the time, you raise your stop aggressively enough, not too much, not too aggressive, but aggressively, just enough. Let the stock basically let it pull back. As long as it doesn't cake you, make sure you don't lose money after you sell a third. Like, be aggressive, real aggressive into selling into strength, and then raise your stop aggressive, not too aggressive, but enough to make sure that you don't lose money if you get stopped out. So let the initial sell become like a hedge, right? So that small profit with your increased stop, let that basically show um how do you say it? You get what I mean. Let that profit go against if the stock reverses and kicks you out. Let that I can't think right now. It's so late. Basically, don't lose money on this trade if you plan on trading it. Yeah. Also, D Dog, another good example. Um, Beautiful breakout from this first time, and it failed. First, and the form an inside day today, so it's not bad. Look at it on the smaller time frame. I don't think it's right to buy it yet. You want to be a little bit more conservative. And if you buy it again, this time will be a third breakout. So you want to be careful with buying breakouts. You want to make sure that another position that I am in is actually AVTI. Sorry, I drink some alcohol, so I'm a little bit not high for sure. Trust me. Um, this stock really, I think something happened. Oh yeah, the sexual harassment. So there was news, like really bad news. The news actually happened on this day, and then a couple of days later, the stock had a huge sell off. Right now, that would be a breakout. I didn't buy the breakout. I'm not a big fan of buying breakouts. If the stock actually has more momentum to move on the down towards the, let's say, 72 level, I'll eat that. But the first initial breakout, I'll pass on it. This will be the it wouldn't be the first one, but you get what I mean. But so the stock pullback. Well, also when the stock was, if you're buying it right here, you're going against a huge risk of the 200-day moving average on the option, right? Now that the 200-day is starting to flatten out, and we have confirmed that the 20-day and the 50-day is on a downtrend, but the thing is, the 5-day moving average is kind of still rising and flattening out, right? But if the stock were to open tomorrow, right below this area, then we'll be start to get rid of data basically as the day goes, and the 5-day moving average will start to basically turning down. ATVA is a short position that I do like, and at least I think it will go back down here to test the recent low that I made. So that's about a 6 point move at least. Now, if you were to once the stock gets below right here, you want to sell some, because that will actually be the first breakout, right? And what did I say? The first breakout often fails. So you want to sell into the breakout right here. Make sure you don't lose money. These are all experiences from trading in modern day stocks. And I don't think books will teach you. Books will teach you some good patterns, and they're important to learn, really important. But in the end, in order how to make money, that's you gotta have to figure it out yourself. Another, but the thing, another, Coinbase broke out. These kind of breakouts, if you let them turn into a loser, like especially like I said, this is the first breakout. you need to be real aggressive with your stop and selling to strength, because this stuff like this happens, right? I think another example would be snow. Snow is a really good one. What is it? Spend on you. So you don't want to buy. Obviously, like I said, you don't want to buy any of these. These are consolidation. Start going down. You don't want to buy the dip. Now that we're entering into stage 2 uptrend, right? First breakout right here. You don't want to buy it. It failed. I guess it failed completely. If you have your stop right here, you're out, right? Completely. And then the stock came back up. Now it formed another base right here. Even had a good shakeout at a 20-day moving average. Even with that, after the first, that will be the first breakout from this base. Even after that breakout, guess what? It failed, right? If you have your stop even at the low of the day, you got stopped out. Instead, you let it wait, and then you want to buy it again when it gets above right here. This will be the second breakout, and guess what? It failed again. The third one is usually the where the magic happens. Let it consolidate with again, and then maybe we get a chance to buy one more time. Earnings is happening soon on the August 25th. And what I'm trying to basically point out in this video is that second and third breakouts, the fourth or even the fourth one is more reliable than the first one. Do not buy the first one. The second one, question it. Question how does it get triggered. The third one, if everything lines up perfectly the way it triggers you, it doesn't gap, and we have seen 2 failed attempts of breaking out, then you want to buy the third one with a larger size position. That's how you make sure you have basically you make more money. How become a good trader. These type of stuff will come the more you guys trade with the experiences. And good luck trading out there in the field. If you think this video is bullshit, go ahead and dislike the video. If you like the video, follow me on twitter.com/fortecharts, also in the description. And yes, thank you guys very much. And I apologize for all these late night videos. Have a good one.